All right, had a little blip there, so I'm going to start with the x. And so making my x, I need factors of 18 that get me to 11. Oops. And that's going to be a 2 and a 9. And again, this is higher powers, but this will still be easy factoring. So I can go straight to my factors because it's x to the 4th. I can have x squared plus 2 and x squared plus 9. I can't factor any further. Neither of these is a difference of squares, so I'm just going to start solving. We're going to start with this one. And what makes it 0? So just set it equal to 0. Subtract the 2. And then take the square root. So taking the square root of negative 2 on your calculator. And I know you can't see that part, but I'm going to get plus or minus 1.41 with an I. And then x squared plus 9, set that equal to 0, subtract 9. And again, I'll be taking the square root of a negative number, this time plus or minus, and then 3 for the square root of 9. And since it's negative, I'll have 3i. So again, I have 4 answers, but they all 4 happen to be imaginary. All right, number 15. First thing I'm going to do is look for GCF, and I notice I can take a 3 and an x out of all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I have x squared plus 2x minus 8. And now I'm going to continue factoring those 3 terms. So I need factors of negative 8 that get me to 2x. Again, I get negative 8 by multiplying these, and here's the 2x. So that's going to be 4x and negative 2x. So joining my GCF of 3x, this is easy factoring, will be x plus 4 and x minus 2. And now just what makes these 0. So these are pretty simple. I'll have x equals 2, x equals negative 4. And again, if you don't see what makes this one equal to 0, just set it equal to 0. And now to solve for x, I need to divide by 3, and my answer is 0. So I do have 3 answers here. All 3 happen to be real answers. Okay, 16. So the first thing I'm going to look for is a GCF. I don't see one. So with 4 terms, I'm going to go straight to my grouping. And I notice I can take an x squared out of here, and I get x plus 9, which when I have the matching set, that's what's supposed to be in here. But this isn't going to work. There is nothing I can take and multiply to x to give me 14x, and to take to 9 to give me the negative 24. So this one is not factorable. So what I'm going to do is I have to come up with a list of numbers to check. So I would come up that list by taking the factors of negative 24. So let's see, positive and negative, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. And then the factors of the number in front, 1. So that's just 1. And I would have this list of numbers because I would make the 24 or the negative 24 factors be my numerator and the 1 be the denominator. So I'd get this list of numbers that I would try to check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to write them. And as I'm writing these, there's a positive and negative version of all of these. So at this point, you got to check to see which one is going to work. So we did mention that the more popular ones to try are 1, negative 1, 2, and negative 2. And those are all on our list. So I'm just going to start with 1 and see if 1 works. So there goes 1, and I'll put the coefficients 1, 9, 14, and negative 24. And again, I'm solving. I'm trying to get 0 at the end. What number, if I put it into the original problem, what number for x, would give me this 0 at the end? So let's go. Here we go. Bring down the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Add those up. 10 times 1 is 10. Add those up. Multiply again, and it works. So 1 is one of my, I can't see anymore, 3 answers. So far for my answers, if I just put my answers here in a box, one of my answers is 1. So now, with this being the remainder, constant x and x squared, I'm going to factor x squared plus 10x plus 24. So what are factors of 24? That get me to 10, and that would be 6 and 4. And it's easy factoring because it's x squared, so I can go straight to x plus 6 and x plus 4 and solve for those now. And moving up into here, I'll get negative 6 as an answer and negative 4 as an answer. So those are my 3 answers. All right, number 17. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out a GCF. I notice I can take an x out of all of them, so I'm left with x to the fourth plus 7x squared plus 10. And now I'm going to try to factor this. This is easy factoring. It will work. So I need factors of 10 that get me to 7, and that would be 5 and 2. And so joining my GCF of x will be x squared plus 5, and, whoops, I left my 2 out of here, and x squared plus 2. And now what makes these equal 0? So I'm supposed to have 5 answers. This answer will be 0. What's going to make this 0? I'm going to set it equal to 0. And then I'm going to subtract 5. And then take the square root. So when I take the square root of -5, again, I'll just go with the decimal, I'm going to get 2 answers for the plus and minus, and then rounding it to the nearest tens, 2.24i. So far I have 1, and then here's 3 answers. And then x squared plus 2, set that equal to 0, subtract 2, and then I'll take the square root of -2. And again, going 2 decimal places, I get x equaling plus or minus 1.41i. All right, number 18. So on 18, first thing I'm going to do, I need 3 answers. I'm going to do a GCF, so I can take an x out. When I take that x out, I'm left with x squared minus 9. I can factor this further. This becomes a difference of squares, so joining the x will be x plus 3 and x minus 3. And what's going to make these equal 0? So these are pretty simple answers. I get x equals 0, x equals -3, and x equals 3. So my 3 answers are all real. All right, 19. This one's a little different because it's not in standard form, so I'm going to move that 9 over real quick by subtracting it and looking for a GCF as I'm writing this, and I don't notice one. So with 4 terms, I'm going to group them. And the first set, I can take out a 2x squared, and I'm left with x plus 3. So I should have a matching set, and we'll see if that works. So what would be here? What with x would give me this -3x up here? And that would be a -3. And then the -3 with this 3 would give me -9. So I've got I can factor this. So I'm going to have 2x squared minus 3 and x plus 3. And now I'm ready to solve for my 3 answers. So let's move this up. So what is going to make this equal 0? Just subtract 3. So there's one of our 3 answers. What's going to make this equal 0? I'm going to add 3 first. Then I'm going to divide by 2, running out of room. And so or you could have the decimal. I'm going to take the square root of 1.5 on my calculator, and I'll get my other 2 answers here. It's positive and negative 1.22 if you're going for the decimal. So there are my 3 answers. All right, number 20. First thing I'm going to do is look for GCF. I notice I can take an x out of all of them. So I'm going to have 2x to the 4th plus 9x squared minus 18. And so now I want to make an x, and I need, that's right. And I need factors of 36 that get me to 9x. All right, so again, you can always run your factor program to see what these are. I'm running the list right now. And the factors of 36 that will get me to 9 are negative 36 will be 3x and 12x. Squared, and I'm going to make the 3 become negative, and now I'm going to rewrite this. This is not easy factoring. This is our first not easy factoring that we've had. So I'm going to replace 9x squared with this, because this is 9x squared. So 2x to the 4th plus negative 3x squared plus 12x squared minus 18. And now that it's 4 terms, I can group them and take my GCF out of this. So I can take an x squared out, and I'm left with 2x squared minus 3, which I'll have my matching set. So what am I taking out of there? That would be a 6. So joining my GCF of x will be x squared plus 6 and 2x squared minus 3, and now it's time to solve. So first thing I'm going to do, what's going to make this one be 0? It's 0. What's going to make this one be 0? I'll set it equal to 0. I'm going to subtract 6. and then I'll be taking the square root of negative 6, and when I check my calculator, it's going to be positive negative 2.45i. So far we're at 3 answers, and then I'll take the other one, which this is the same one, if you notice, back up on 19, but 2x squared minus 3, set it equal to 0. I'm going to add 3. I'm going to divide by 2. This time I'll write the decimal version, and then I'll take the square root of 1.5, which gives me plus or minus 1.22. So there are my 5 answers. 2 are imaginary and 3 are real. All right, 21. The first thing I notice is that I have 5 terms, so I can't factor with 5 terms. So what I want to do is make a list of my numbers to test. And so I would take the factors of negative 8 and put them over the factors of 1. And I should have like this. And make this list of numbers. So again, this is just the numerator, this is the denominator. And when I take all of these numbers and put them over 1, they just repeat themselves. So the numbers I should test are 1, 2, 4, and 8, and the negative versions of all of those. So let's see which one works. All right, so the first thing I would try is 1. So putting those coefficients in there, I'm going to see if this works. So bring down the 1, 1 times 1 is 1, add those up, get another negative 1, I'm adding up, multiplying again, and it didn't work. I didn't get 0 at the end. So 1 doesn't work. So now what I'm going to do is try negative 1. So let's come over here. Here's negative 1. Oops, make that a 3. All right, so bringing down the 1, I multiply, starting to get little different results. Just adding and multiplying as I go through. All right, so this set did work. All right, so if you didn't hear what I said in class, I realized that you're not going to have a problem like this. What ends up happening, just to explain it to you, is 1 didn't work, and negative 1 did. And if I were to put x's with all of this, so constant x, x squared, x cubed, and then I try to factor this, this wouldn't factor. So I would have to go through this whole process again, and we are not doing that in Algebra 2. So we're going to cross off 21 because it's not on the test. All right. Let's go ahead and get through this last number 22. So we are graphing. So again, when you graph, you want factored form and standard form. So the first thing I want to do is I can get all of my zeros already. So just to show you, if you remember, we have 2x plus 2's. We have 3x minus 1's. And we have 1x plus 5. So what's going to make these all 0? So negative 2. So that's twice, it will bounce. I'm going to have 1 3 times, 1 and 1 and 1, so that's a wiggle. And I'm going to have negative 5 once, so that's a cross. So down here at negative 2, I'm going to have a bounce. At 1, I'm going to have a wiggle. And at negative 5, I'm going to have a cross. All right, let's figure out the shape. So the shape I'll get by focusing on standard form. So I need to multiply the first term of each set of parentheses, which I'm highlighting, and that gives me x to the 6th. And then if I multiply the last term of those factors, 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, and 5. So just showing you what I'm multiplying, 2 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times 5. This gives me 4. This gives me negative 1. And then when I multiply those at the end, I would have a negative 20. So there's my y-intercept. So it doesn't quite fit on the graph, but that's okay. Negative 20. It doesn't quite fit on the graph. I will go ahead and just label that. All right, let's go for these end behaviors. This is going to be a regular u because of the even power is the u, and because there's a positive 1 in front, it's going up. So if I just, can go to my ends, and again, this might not quite look like what it's going to look like in a little while. It is going to cross through. So I'm actually going to draw this in a slightly different color. It's going to cross through here. Ooh, that's not very good. It's going to turn and it's going to bounce off of this. It's going to go all the way down to this y-intercept, cross through. It's coming up, and again, this isn't